Good morning, everyone. This is Kathy Mason from MasonWorks Marketing here on Conscious Business Zone with my friend Claudiu Murgan.
Hi, Kathy. How are you?
I'm so excited to talk with you. It's been a while, and we both have been out there doing our thing. For people that don't know Claudiu, he and I did a wonderful summit last year. And it really was amazing where we worked as a team, and you took left, I took right, and it worked out beautifully. So I hope we get to do that again sometime. But for people that don't know you, Claudiu is a visionary author, and he'll show you a couple of his books. He's a speaker. He has his own show called Spiritually Inspired. He's an advocate for spiritual exploration. He weaves together themes of consciousness, environmental awareness, and human transformation. And he has dedicated his life to helping others also as they explore, right?
Yes, thank you for the lovely introduction, Kathy.
Sure. Well, I love you so much. I'm so excited to have this opportunity to uplift people during these times of change where the chaos outside is just crazy.
Yes, indeed. And since we last talked, a lot of things have happened on my side. And usually after I talk to you, more good things are happening. So I like to, and I love to be on your show. So last time we talked, you said that I'm going to be activated in a certain way, and I accepted it, and it was kind of a mission. And things unraveled since, and I can say right now that I do organize private group energy sessions, like remote ones on Zoom, and also private sessions. And that came as a pretty much an awareness by listening to you and doing the Akashic record reading. It was the acceptance of my mission, and I think the activation followed through naturally. And it's been a very interesting ride since. I have my own, very funny thing, I have my own WhatsApp group with 21 women part of it. And that's quite interesting. I'm trying to, motivate them every morning with an affirmation, and, they reply with their own comments and energy, which I think it's a beautiful interaction. And a lot of light workers and people who love to raise the consciousness of humanity these days should have these type of small virtual communities, because you can again motivate each other, give the group the positive energy they need.
So I agree with that. I guess what I'm surprised at is that people are still in hiding. I think a lot of people, part of the reason why I get so interested in the near-death experiencers is they come back after they've seen the big picture, and they're so courageous and so energized to fulfill a mission or to share what they experienced, that nothing can stop them. But a lot of the star seeds and the people that may have been the early wave of people are still afraid to be seen. What do you think would help them?
I think you are right. And maybe the taste of rejection from those they reach out initially, telling them and sharing about their own experience and newfound skills, especially energy-wise. And the moment you find that negative person who will jump on you or say that this is BS or you are nuts, or go back into your hole, I think they will really retract, and they won't have the strength at this point in time, at least, to move forward. So in my case, I pretty much put it out there with friends and family. I did a lot of free sessions. I looked for feedback, trying to get confirmation that is not in my head only, and that people really feel it, and they see benefits. And I recently had I did a session for my wife, former ex-coworker, and she had cancer for the last 7-8 months, and I saw her, or I knew her from before, and my wife one night showed me how she looks now, and she was totally bald. She lost a lot of weight, but she had the face of a Buddhist nun, so beautiful. I saw so much beauty and love in that emaciated face. I mean, some people might not have thought or think that woman is so beautiful the way she was, but honestly, I saw so much beauty in her, and I did a session for her that very night. And next day, she posted that she feels empowered, she feels more energy, and she has more strength that morning, that day, than she had in a long time. So that gave me strength and pleasure and love that I can remotely make a small difference in someone's life who goes through such an ordeal. And again, for those who are hiding, you are doing it for yourself and for those who will understand you and will appreciate what you are doing. And I listen to on YouTube to certain people, and they are very positive. They do tarot decks, and they say, if you don't like what I say, just leave my channel. If you post a negative comment, I will delete you. So I'm telling you right now, don't be upset with me. I am not allowing any negative energy to perpetrate my environment, my community. So if you establish this type of rules and guidelines from the beginning, I think only those who will be attracted by you will come over, and you will create in time that community which you can address and nurture.
Yes, that's perfect. In fact, that's what I was hoping you would say, is that find others that are also on your same wavelength, that will encourage you rather than discourage you. I mean, if I listened to just my family, I wouldn't be doing this show. So, I mean, this is my 7th year of doing it, 6th, 7th year. So anyway, so what I think is that it's time for everyone to find their others and find a way to co-create with them where you get positive feedback and sincere help, not competitive help. That's the other thing, is that there's still we're naive. A lot of us highly sensitive people want to see the good. We're looking for the good instead of the other. And I did work with this wonderful man, James Bonato, who did my intro on my show, and he did a whole documentary on narcissists and how they find people like us. And so, yeah, so, you do want to make sure you find the right people to support you and to help you and to make you wonder. So it's that expansiveness that brings in more of your superpowers, I think.
Yes, and what we do, Kathy, is amazing. It gives me so much satisfaction and gratitude. Why? Because I interact, and you interact with a lot of people, and they are authors, they are light workers, they are empaths, and we put everyone in contact. We are able to make those connections, and when they get in contact, new initiatives come out. New books, new webinars, and that, I'm telling you, you have no idea how much satisfaction gives me I recently interviewed the co-authors of The Orchid, husband and wife. They are beautiful. They exude love. I'm telling you, you look at that at Rocio, and she exudes love. And I heard that he is Angel is or was part of Sony Corporation. And right away, I realized that I have one of my good friends, which I interviewed, Matt Flugger. He was part of Sony as well, VP level. And right away, I put them in contact. They met and they are going to work on projects. They found common ground. They have the same experience. So again, it's amazing that we can go beyond, personal interest and look at those we are interviewing as brothers and sisters and create this community by not applying any other effort than just making an introduction.
Right.
Several months ago, I'm part, of Jerry Sargent's community. He's from UK, Star Magic Healing, and someone from Toronto saw my name, saw that I am from Toronto, reached out to me. And she is a healer with 35 years experience. We met, we clicked right away. I introduced her to a larger group of energy healers, and now she's holding private sessions and free sessions as well. So it's an amazing way of connecting and spreading love and light if you really go beyond your own personal interests.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that the curiosity that you and I both have to meet these people and to learn from them, because we're constant learners, is part of the hopefully this is the interest that people have with our shows. You have spiritually inspired, and both of us want to keep learning and growing and seeing what the energy is on each one of these gifted people, because each one of them, as we know, we're all like a melting pot. It's not just Canada and the US as a melting pot. The whole of humanity is. And so there's so much to be gleaned from other people's perspectives and how they are in the world. One of the people I just interviewed is Bill Douglas, and I've interviewed him before, and this weekend is World Tai Chi and Qigong Day that he's been doing for over 20 years, I think, or maybe even more, where people all over the world practice and have events out in public where people can join them to learn Tai Chi and Qigong. And I mean, where did he get that inspiration? That is just brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yes, and on top of Spiritually Inspired, I co-host another podcast, The Energy Expansion, with Jay Mata of Gnostic TV. He realized that there is a need for showing the light workers how they can start a business through what they are doing. And we bring in people who are successful in both the spiritual community and in business with advices and share them on this shorter form of a podcast, the energy expansion, the spiritual inspired, which is mine, goes much longer, usually 45, 60 minutes, 70 minutes. But the energy expansion episodes are anywhere between 20 to 25 minutes, just nuggets of knowledge and wisdom for those who really want to create a business and be successful.
That's great. Well, I think I'm seeing that people are being called to do their businesses now, that what I'm hoping is that they feel safe enough to get out and claim their genius. But I think that the energies, as people are getting more and more activated with the sun the intense sun rays. The sensitives definitely are feeling it. And more people will be seeing our galactic friends. We're going to have undeniable exchanges about how glorious you can walk this earth, that you don't have to be a victim of things. You can create what you want, right?
Yes, and I mean, you and me are of the mindset that just rip off the band-aid and get on with it, and get the information, get the activation, get the higher level of consciousness. But indeed, we have to go through that process slowly, because not everyone is at the same level. When more disclosures will come out, they might not be able to handle mentally, spiritually, physically even. This type of truth, and we have to, even for us, I mean, more activation means more energy in these physical bodies, means that we have to take it easy, otherwise we'll burn out. And I go through this process almost every night when I sit in meditation, and I understand that I have physical limitations in terms of how much I can move the body, how much energy can come through in one sitting. So
Right.
I have to also be careful with how I handle this body, and not leave before my time,
Well, I think you already have done a lot of work. What we're hoping is that maybe we're creating some curiosity for people that are just starting their journey. They're starting to feel empathic. They're starting to not really know if they'll walk in a room and they're starting to feel the other people in the room, whereas I've had that since I was this big. But that the clearing that they're going to go through may feel like a bad cold. It may knock you out because your body is releasing energies that are impeding you from holding more of your soul light. And so that's the beauty of this time, is that not only are there a bunch of the early adopters here to hold that for everyone, there's a platform and a level of acceptance of that here. There's so many teachers and guides that'll walk people through. If you're highly sensitive, you don't really have to hide anymore. Be as a writer or as a IT guy, you've been an introvert for a lot of your life, right? And now you're out here.
No, to be honest with you, I don't think I was an introvert. I always been out there, especially as an author, attending events and meeting with people. But I wanted to say that about the body and how the body reacts. If you feel like the cold Kathy mentioned, you might help your body and yourself with a detox program. Whatever works for you, you can try something, organic, plant-based, just to help with the detoxing of the body. And if you want more information, you can reach out to Kathy or myself, and we can lead you into the right direction. Again, no medical advice, is just for you to try or consider. But otherwise, the more we get exposed to energies, to the sun, to this type of activations, the more we open up within ourselves. And then you can start talking light language. And I was blurbing one day, and I recorded myself, and I sent the audio sample to Ria Loveguard, which speaks more than 20 light languages. She's a linguist in this type of domain. And I asked her, Ria, I apologize if I'm sending you gibberish, but please assess it and let me know what type of, or if there is something there. So 4 days later, she wrote back to me very excited, and she said, Claudiu, this is Handerian, this is Beta Centauri light language, which is very rare, especially for a man to speak this type of language. Is a very feminine language. I said, wow, that's amazing. And then the cherry on the cake was when she asked me if she can add that audio sample to their audio library of light languages. So imagine how ecstatic I was that now I'm in an audio library of light languages.
Well, the thing is that that's what I'm saying is the resources that are out there now. I had one client that I won't use her name because I didn't ask her, but when she first came to me, this was 12 years ago or more, we were at my office and she could not control speaking light language. She had no breaks or dials to turn to say now, not now, now, not now. And so she was just crying, just sobbing because the number one, the energy was coming through her that was so full of grace, so beautiful. But she didn't, it's almost like your past experiences can't prepare you for this new version of you. And now she's all integrated and very, very amazing helper to so many. But at that time, I watched that and I thought that's really interesting. And back then, I think she went to Judy Satori. So even back then, as soon as the internet hit, you were able to go and search for other people. When you could do a query and maybe find some resource information and then test it out whether or not it was good for you. But yeah, the light language stuff, I love it. And it's amazing how fast it works. There must be something about song or tone or the sound that is carries the intention wave. What do you think it is about light language that makes it so fast?
Is the vibration. What Ria is saying is don't listen to what I say, just feel the vibration, just feel it in your heart, and you will resonate with one of them, and you will then know that you are coming or originate from that particular constellation. And in my case, I realized that if I am in between the energy waves, if I want to speed up the next energy wave in my mind, I can start speaking light language in my mind only. And in seconds, the energy comes back through my body. But that means the drawback is that I will get tired much faster. So I have to then take a longer break. And when I work with the first group on Zoom, there are 24 people. And my first wave of energy lasted maybe 15-20 minutes, and I had to stop because it was too much for me. The group needed a lot of energy, and I was sweating, and I really had to stop because I was exhausted. Yeah. So I learn, and now I keep the groups anywhere between 10 to 12 people. When I do private sessions, that's different. The energy is still intense, but then I direct it to one person only, and I can do multiple waves.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I actually did. I like you, I'm used to doing things one-on-one, and I've been doing this a long time. And I did a group of, I think they were 30 people on, and I had to go out and hug a tree afterwards because I have no idea. It was more a group message than it was one person. So I'm experimenting a little bit. I'm getting a little more courageous about that too. But I've been hiding my stuff just in privates all these years, over 20 years. So
yeah, and in fact, you attended my first energy session. Yeah, you're part of that group.
Yeah. Well, and what I'm finding is that there's all different teachers out there that have all different help to heal people, to change their perspective on life, to help them focus. That was one of the questions I wanted to ask you about with your practice. The practice of intention or focusing intention. Could you talk a little bit about that? Because I think that is one of the things that people don't understand, that they're used to taking a pill. You know, I have a headache, I'll take an aspirin. You know, they're used to quick change, whereas what we're talking about is more lifestyle choices, intention. Could you share a little bit about that information for the audience?
Yeah, so I think there are two aspects. One I mentioned before in terms of health and taking care of our bodies and our intakes. And then with the energy portion of it, yes, someone can do a remote energy session on you, but you really have to be open to receive it. And one of an example I can give you is an old lady had migraines, and I met her like 2 months ago, and she told me this story that for years she had migraines, very bad migraines. She went to an energy healer, and for like maybe several months, maybe a year, and she didn't feel a thing, nothing. But at the end of that period of time, she stopped having migraines, and he told her, there is nothing else I can do for you. Go home, live your life. And she didn't have migraines since. So the guy did a good job on her. And then she attended my first private session, the group session, and she felt the energy in the body. And then she booked 3 different private sessions. Every single time she felt the energy because she was expecting. I told her in between what hours we are going to, I'm going to work on her. I told her what exactly to imagine, and then I did the rest. And there is no, she doesn't have any vision in her right eye, and she felt the energy going through the optical nerve in that part of her body, of her head. So she's starting to get some feeling back in areas that were numb before. So I can send as much energy as possible, but if her intention is not there, if she's not ready to receive, might be no effect, positive effect on her. So that's why most of the time we have to not only have the permission, get the permission of working on someone else, that's ethical, but to work and prep the individual we are going to work with a little bit of ahead of time. So set up some expectations. And most of the time I don't ask people if they have a disease or if they suffer anything in particular, because I want to see where the energy will stop in their body. And 90% of the time, that's very accurate after they provide me with feedback. Of course, after I told them what I saw, where the energy stopped, what I was able to achieve at my end. So that's very comforting to get this type of feedback. And again, people have to have an open mind, because if you don't believe that we are energy and we are all part of the quantum, I don't think the effects will have the same, or the effort will have the same results. And I have cases with friends of mine who work with tons of people, and the improvement was very little.
Yeah, I agree. I think working on the physical body and also working at the higher self level really makes a difference. And but preparing what you said, preparing them for the information so that they can readjust their concept of self. What I wanted to also ask you is about you've just created a book of other healers that we're going to talk about in a moment, but there's something about you and I that we both don't feel like the other people are competitors. And I'd like to address that because I know in the past, maybe the past even 10 years ago or so, when you would go to a metaphysical fair and there would be all these healers there, or readers, and they're all like, oh, that, they got one, I didn't get one, that whole thing. How did you deal with not being competitive with others? Because I believe there's an abundance here but how do you deal with that?
I think honestly, and I'm not trying to, be cocky or anything, but I think it's in my nature. Because I give you an example. I went to a book fair organized by a small town nearby where I live, at the library. So it was on a Sunday afternoon or Saturday, I can't remember exactly. 10 authors, some were children's book authors, some were non-fiction, some fiction, some health related. So honestly, I didn't expect a big crowd. I had my table. I put my books on the table, and I started connecting with the other authors. Like I always do. To tell them about a show or a book, or what do they need in case I can help them. And at that small show, I sold 5 books. The lady on the left expected a lot. She sold none. Not even her friend bought a book from her. She came and bought a book from me. It was so embarrassing for me. Okay. So I didn't have any expectations. I shared as much information as possible. I invited a couple of ladies to be on my podcast. I said, look, you just published this book. If you want to get some promotion on the book, let me know. I'm open to interview you, promote the book. So I really try to enjoy this type of interaction, and I don't look at it as competition. And I mentioned earlier the very experienced healer from Toronto who reached out to me. One of my friends, which I did a couple of sessions on, I sent her to this healer. I said, look, maybe she can help you much better than me because she has 35 years experience. I'm a newborn. Yeah. Go to her. So they've been working together for the last month and a half. And again, I recommend people to you. I recommend people to other healers, which I think they have some compatibility with. Even with this older lady, with health issues, after 3 sessions, I realized that she might need a detox. I said, look, we stop our sessions. You don't have to pay me anything. Stop it. But invest in a detox program. Because then if you want to resume the energy sessions, then your body will accept the energy and the vibration much easier. There is no pushback. Right. So to me, it's so natural that I don't have to ask myself twice, or honestly, it's very natural to me to collaborate and send clients to someone else.
Yeah, in fact, I think that you and I are alike where we love it. I mean, it's almost like hopefully they'll tell you what happens after you match people up, but you don't have to. It's just like you just did your good deed for the day. You matched 2 people up that are going to be a great fit, and you might never know what happened, or you might go, yay.
And I'll give you a crazy story. Okay. I had three big manifestations in 1 week, but one is huge, and people might not believe it, but in my heart, I know it's true. So there is a new technology developed in Mexico based on Tesla inventions, Nikola Tesla. And an engineer from Mexico took it and enhanced it, and works with plasma. It's been on the market for a couple of years. They are releasing the second iteration right now. It's portable, and it does miracles, especially to those who are terminally ill, or they improve their health situation. And I was talking to my wife, said, look, should we invest in something like this? Because you don't like what you are doing right now. You studied nutrition, and then with this new machine, you can combine the both. You can combine both. You can advise people with their health and intakes. And she said, no, it's too expensive. And as I mentioned, I did multiple free sessions before I came out publicly. And to a particular person, I did maybe 20 sessions for her entire family. I didn't ask for a penny, very nice lady. And she called me, we talk about her health, and I explained that there are a lot of technologies coming out in the world. And I mentioned the amount, which is in lower five figures, okay?
Uh-huh.
And she said, you know what? I'll give you the money. I'll give you donation to buy the machine and do good in the world. I said, are you serious? I said, yes. Send me the wire transfer information. I'll do that for you and your wife, and do good in the world. So the intention was put out there, and it came out of nowhere with no intention for me talking to her about this type of thing, like getting it from her in any way. It was just innocent discussion. And now we are waiting for that expensive equipment to arrive in several weeks and do good in the world, because everything will be based on donations. We are not going to, if someone cannot pay a cent, we won't charge anything. So everything will be on donation based on everyone's financial capability.
Isn't it? So, and the other thing that I see with you is that that you are doing this from your heart, not from here so much, and that's the journey. It's only what, 20 centimeters or something. It's not very far, but it seems like it's pretty far to go from in business from here to here and do that new kind of business that it's win, 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 right?
Yeah. And another side effect of one's awakening is creativity and content creation. And to me, that's paramount, because I like to write. And last year, I published this book of short stories. I gathered all the short stories I wrote in the last 4 or 5 years, and some what I call them streams of consciousness that came to me in meditation, and I put them in this small, beautiful book. And is another achievement. I consider it as a result of my, awakening and new possibilities. And the other book you mentioned is being launched on this coming Friday, Alternative Methods of Healing. So my subscribers asked me to take some of the interviews, edit them and put them into a book format, 400 pages, 21 contributors. Some of them are your friends, like Fran, Bailey.
She's here and says, awesome, guys.
And, Peter Benson, Dr. Bruce Limpton, Kimba Arem, Alba Weinman. So naturopaths, oncologists, and there are practical lessons at the end of each chapter. So I'm really, really proud of this book, the way it came out. And this is one of the three, because the second and the third hopefully will come out next year. The second is psychology, mediumship, and channeling. And the third one will be shamanism and sacred plant medicine.
How did you pick food to be in it? That would be a hard one.
I had to remove some of them because otherwise it would have been a 500-page book, even 400. But for 400 pages, it feels so good, a little bit heavy. And the cover is amazing, and I want to keep the the font the style will be the same for the second and third. Of course, the color will be different, so you can have the trilogy on health and spiritual community. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. Did you get inspired by the Ringing Cedars books to do this trilogy?
Yes, and I have to thank you for that, for pointing me to the books. I read all 9 of them, I think, in a month and a half. I
Wow.
went through them like pretty fast. I found them as PDF version, and it was much easier to read them.
Well, that is an amazing group of people if you get involved with the Ringing Cedars. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, there's a series of books that were translated from Russian into English that I have them downstairs. I actually got my copies back from my girlfriend, and I used to meet once a month at someone's house here locally. That you had to have read all the books to join, and was talking about putting together a group. And it's basically a different way of living in community, in alignment with nature. And I have interviewed a gentleman who has put a community together. I think it's in New Mexico, where they're growing hemp as part of their community project.
Yes, and in fact, 2 days ago, I started to plant the seeds for for my garden, and I put them in small containers. And I remember that I should keep some of them under my tongue, you know, and I did that. Yeah, it was a good reminder, and we'll see what comes out of it. But again,
it makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, so much of this, it's just we forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I love to experiment with a lot of new things. And now I'm experimenting with the Native American flute. It's not an easy exercise, but I'm not giving up. And, you know, it's fun.
Oh, no. Poor wife. Well, so Claudiu, for people that say they don't have time to do things, you've just right now, you have a full-time job. You have, you've been publishing, you just published 2 books within the year. You're now talking about doing flute. You do a online show, and you do some other shorts with that. What would you say to people that say they don't have enough time?
And I'm not on drugs or anything like that, I swear.
No, you're on a mission from God.
I think it's time management. I think is you have to be driven by what you love to do. I don't have small kids anymore, so I don't have to take them to activities or wipe their butts or anything like that. I'm over that period. So I have more time on for myself. And believe me, I still sleep 6 to 7 hours a night. I still meditate, but it's all about time management. So you really have to not be go, 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 but in your mind know exactly the moments of the day where you're going to do significant things that will give you the confidence that you are moving your boat forward. And this is how I work. I mean, after my work time, I know that I have to edit 1 or 2 interviews because I'm going on vacation. So I have to be covered for the next 4 weeks. I don't have to worry about that. I know that someone will post them, will promote them, but I have to deliver the interviews. I know that when I come back from vacation, I have other interviews scheduled. And it's up to each of us to know its own limits. So for me, is pushing my limit every other day or every week, if possible, before my limit on how many interviews I can do on a daily basis was 3. Now I push beyond that, and I did 4 interviews back to back to back to back. But again, I do it because I plan ahead. I know what questions I'm going to ask. I did my research. I even eliminated the green screen issue. I have a permanent background that I don't have to worry about finding an image that will appeal to the discussion. So I eliminated as much as the noise, and I'm focused on what I have to do, and I'm prepared. I mean, people are overwhelmed when they are not prepared. But
Right.
if you prepare on time and ahead of time, then I just go. I start the camera, and I say, "Hi, welcome back to a new episode of the Spiritual Inspired. My guest today is," and from there everything flows. I don't have to worry because I focus on the guest, and they notice that, and they appreciate the respect I give them because I'm totally focused on them. I listen to what they say, and I take the discussion further, and there are no odd moments, and they love it, and they want to come back.
Yeah, isn't that great? Oh, good. I agree. All of this is finding what really gives you energy rather than takes it away. Because all of these things you're talking about, including the flute, are starting to. There, it's about giving energy and creating joy rather than I have to. I mean, it's different. It's a different mindset. And it's also kind of a game to see how much you can get done in a day.
And to be honest with you, my older son, my young son now expects me to do anything, but my older son is still cannot keep up with my speed because he said, "Why don't you do an Indigo campaign if you want to send copies to your contributors and have the shipping paid for?" And I said, "Okay." And 3 days later, I had the campaign up and running with everything. So, oh my God, I never heard anyone of doing an Indigo campaign in 3 days. And then he said, maybe you want to do some animation. And the same night, I had 2 movies with animation with squirrels and animals and the audio. And he was, oh my God. And then I said, I'm going to do a Shopify shop. And I have the Shopify ready. I have to activate it. I'm just waiting for more book proofs to be sure to arrive to be sure that everything is fine. And then I will have my shop. It's called soulawakeningshop.com. It's not active yet, maybe in 2 days, but I'll have mugs there with motivational affirmations, t-shirts, my books. You can book energy sessions. So will be a one-stop shop for everything related to me at this point.
Right. I love it. And I think that what you're explaining is possible for everyone. But there is somebody put, and I cannot pronounce his name, so I don't want to mess it up. But meditation gives focus and efficiency at whatever you do. And thank you for I don't want to mess your name up. Sorry.
Yes, no, I sit in meditation and I get answers. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Even chores around the house, it will a message or a solution will pop up in my head, and I say, okay, thank you. And then I go to my boys and say, okay, this is how you're going to do that. This is how you're going to do that. And in fact, we do it together, but I give them the solution which came to me in meditation.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Well, part of this also is courageousness, where you're not afraid to try to do the Indiegogo. You're not afraid to try Shopify. You're not afraid to go and do it because from error comes clarity. And we've been taught to, oh no, don't make a mistake, but really, especially in you're in corporate, you're all of us are doing things every day. Oh, nature gives us answers too. Thank you. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you so much. But I think that it's more about not being afraid of making any mistakes and just keep going forward. Before we came on,
yeah, I made so many mistakes. Yeah. And my wife reminds me from time to time about some of them when she feels cornered.
Oh, okay. Well, you heard it first here, but well, okay. So tell us what you're envisioning for the rest of this year. I mean, a lot of people are very wary. I mean, you're in Canada, I'm in the US. I hope those tariffs will not come through, but it's a very strange year where you really can't even focus on this outside construct. How do you see this all changing, or do you have any insights into it?
Just my personal opinion. I try to stay away from the noise. I listen to 3 or 4 people in the spiritual community and on the financial community. I want to stay updated to what's going on. But if I put a comment on social media and I see that the reaction is opposite and there is no way that people will come to terms with what I consider reality, I will just step aside. I'm not continuing that discussion. I'm not putting more energy into it. I'm putting more energy into myself, my projects, and what I, as you said, envision and want to manifest. So between now and the end of the year, I would love to go to Australia to meet some friends there. I love to go on Veda Austin's trip to Egypt in November. And because everything will be related to water, and Veda, in fact, is part of my 2022 Love Letters to Water anthology with a piece, and this is how we initially met. And next month in May, I'm going to my home country, Romania, and I will visit 1 or 2 energy powerful sites in that country. And I want to see how my body will react, because I think during our Akashic Records reading, Kathy, last year, you mentioned that before going anywhere else, I should go to Romania and visit these particular energy powerful, potent sites.
Well, yeah, I think what we're saying is that Claudiu has cleared himself enough that he's under a lot of guidance, and that's available for everyone right now. And so what I'm so excited, I mean, you seem like you're a superhero, but all of us, well, it's organization, but it's also following the energy. It's following the energy to its higher expression, and anything that takes away energy, like you said, you post something on Facebook and you just either take it down or don't put any more focus on it, because our intention is creating this reality, right?
Yes, and I'll give you another example. I mean, we did our show together, Summit together, was amazing. I felt the energy. I was very into it. I did another show for Gnostic TV. I was into it. And then Gnostic asked me to do another show. And to be honest with you, I just dragged my feet. I just couldn't find the energy to attract the right people. I received 1 or 2 emails, and that was a message for me that you are not meant to do that particular show. And I stopped. So I don't, right now I'm trying to figure out and work with my body to be sure that I don't do something against the flow. That's the main thing. And the fact that we were able to secure this technology from Mexico and we'll be able to help so many people, to me, it's a blessing. Right. And we'll be sure that it will be used proper.
Yes, I love all the technology, and I know that so much is coming, and that we're getting so much help from all these different beings otherwise I don't think we would be here still with the solar flares and everything. I think there's a lot of protection for us, but I want everyone to really be feeling hopeful and optimistic about themselves. If they are having congestion, it may just be that you need to do a detox or rest and drink tons of fluids to clear your system out, and focus on the reality you want to create, not the reality that is trying to invade your sphere of energy, because there is a divine order to all of this, and the more that we realign to that divine order, the happier we all will be, right?
Yes, indeed. Just stay positive, surround yourself with the right people, buy alternative methods of healing to get the practical lessons on how you can stay healthy. If you need, again, a very good, efficient detox program, reach out to Kathy or myself, and again, we'll guide you to the right people.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, and I'm so glad to be in touch with you again. We both kind of help each other stay in a upgraded, uplifted space, and very hopeful for this change. It's an exciting time, not a scary time, right?
Yes, Kathy, I have to leave right now for another call. Thank you very much. My love.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Please share this. Please share this if you can. Bye, Claudiu.
Bye.
Bye.